Hello everyone and welcome to this special IAE episode of Leadnap Gaming. So far, we've seen the Corsair and Cutter from Drake, a new medical Pisces from Anvil, and today the big one, the Galaxy from RSI. Holy hype train, Batman, but hold on to your credit card, because we need to talk first. Before we do that, at time of writing, we are less than 20 subs away from a Mysk Odyssey being given away live this week. If you haven't yet, mash that subscribe button and leave a comment for a chance to win. Okay, the Galaxy. Whoa, mama! Picking up where the ever-beautiful Perseus left off, this wedge design with tower bridge combo is hot! Wait, did they say modularity? How could you not spend that money? The Galaxy certainly checks all the right boxes, but don't start entering your credit card number, which, let's be honest, you probably already saved. There's certainly some considerations that we should talk about ahead of time. So look, I saw the initial leak stuff and I was like, not interested, and man, they'd really have to wow me on this one. I'm already shelling out for that Odyssey this week, so I'm not quite feeling the usual big spender vibes this year. Well, CIG did just that. I am impressed, and I certainly did what they expect all of us to do, reach for the wallet. But then I got to thinking about it. What the Galaxy represents is huge. Game-breaking, really. But does that mean the Galaxy itself is worth buying? Maybe not. This video is rated C for conjecture. Yes, we're going to do some theorizing, but if anything, it's counter-theorizing from the very theorizing CIG is depending on you to do. First, what the Galaxy is, as CIG has told us.
We were just going for a ship that when you saw it, it just looked like you want to just get together with your friends, get that thing off the ground, turn it around, and just fly as far as you can.
From a content creator standpoint, and as a backer, I really like where they're going with the Galaxy. Modularity is king, and especially where the world is economically right now, seeing CIG give us a concept this year that can fill multiple roles and isn't a combat ship is fantastic. Right away, this should move the ship into the buy category for a lot of people. The Galaxy is the class above the Connies, which have continued to be some of the best ships in the game in the long run now. The Galaxy enjoys a nice hangar to bring something along with you, which elevates it from the Connies, 600i, and Caterpillar. Now keep that last ship in mind, because I see the Galaxy as a direct competitor from the Caterpillar from Drake. Since this was written pre-release, I can only say I hope the price starts with a 3, but wouldn't be shocked to see it at a 4 either. I expect each module to run $75 to $100, which would put this concept release right in line with the usual $600 price point for the IAE big concept release, and in line with other modules for other ships. Oh yes, I do suspect the modules have to be purchased separately, just like the Retaliators, the Bucks, the Endeavors, and other modular ships. Okay, so priced roughly the same as the Cat. But I wouldn't expect to see 566 SCU either. Now the Taurus breaks 150, so for the Galaxy to really punch above the Connies, it should ideally be able to hold more in the cargo configuration. I am concerned, given the size of the cargo room drawings, that to hit the ideal cargo numbers, the hangar and cargo module have to be filled. Which isn't a big deal if you're running cargo, but it is an important thing to keep in mind. We've had the Cat for years now, and it's never been more than a box hauler unless you count unofficial snub carrier. The elevator fix that brings the Cat's elevators to the ground level at last means the Cat can move vehicles, 5 of them, which is probably more than the Galaxy can in its hangar, and certainly the C2 could carry far more, along with the vehicles the Cat nor Galaxy could carry due to size. We shouldn't expect the Galaxy to carry more than the C2. After all, the C2 is dedicated to cargo hauling. Yet, if the Galaxy cannot carry as much as the Caterpillar in total SCU, you're running into a value problem. Because you might be thinking to yourself, like the C2, it shouldn't have to, it's modular. Yet, so too is the Drake Caterpillar. Yep, I know, CIG hasn't talked about this in ages, but the Cat is supposed to be modular, with you swapping out the center sections for various, at present, unnamed modules. Which is where the second problem slinks in. The Galaxy is only the second ship in the verse to get a mining refinery, the Expanse being the other. I know you were thinking the Odyssey, but it can only refine what it mines itself. So, sweet, you can knock the Expanse out by just using this ship, true. But a refinery seems like just the sort of modular unit the Caterpillar would get. It also stands to reason a refinery module would go to the other modular contender in the room, the Carrack. This logic also swings true for the medical module. Drake already has an ambulance ship, so the likelihood that it would tie in with a medical module for the Cat down the road seems incredibly likely. The Carrack is less likely to ever see a medical module, though it also has a medical suite aboard that's not part of its module system. Yikes! It doesn't get better from there either, because the Galaxy has a critical modularity problem when placed against its peers: module-defined role. Just like the Vanguards and their bucks, when you put the medical pod on the Galaxy, you become a hospital. When you put the refinery pod on, you become a refinery. No brainer, but the Carrack and Caterpillar don't have this problem. Carrack captains never lose their medical abilities, though they're limited to the single bed. Like the Cat, the Carrack's pods have never been defined, though CIG has in the past talked about a farm unit, science unit, and other sorts of research and outpost roles that go well with its drop-off capability that only the Carrack gets. More importantly though, let's for the sake of argument say the Carrack gets the same module choices as the Galaxy. The core difference then: the Carrack can be a refinery, hospital, and cargo ship simultaneously because it has 3 module stations to the Galaxy's 1. The Cat has, as presently understood, 4. Now CIG could throw a curveball at the Cat, eliminating the idea that the center compartments themselves are modular, but that the core of the ship is, and that only the command module swaps. That would level the playing field some, meaning a hospital or refinery Cat would be all 5 compartments. I could see this being the way CIG goes for a value perspective, but it certainly undoes the lore and design concepts of the ship if so. Back to the Galaxy then, it's not a bad ship. It's a fantastic ship really, but it only represents value to the right buyer. Do you own a Carrack? You already have more cargo, a permanent medical facility, more armor and weapons, and 3 dedicated module slots when modularity is rolled out. The catch is, of course, there will be a lag in modularity rolling out, and CIG releasing modules for the Carrack. Still, you could save money and just get an Expanse to put refining into your goals in the interim, or make friends with the Galaxy owner. Do you own a Caterpillar? Ideally, you have 4 module slots on hand, and likely will still carry more cargo. Likewise, cargo loading will be exponentially easier when loading mechanics are rolled out. Sure, the Galaxy has gantries, but we have a tractor beam gun, and regardless, the pods on the Galaxy have to go from hangar to cargo pod through a narrow door. A door which simply serves the purpose to limit the hangar's actual size. Like the Carrack, you'll probably have to wait for your modular pods to eventually enter the game after modular play is introduced. But like the Carrack, your ship's already flyable. Of course, it's also possible that the price hike the Cat was rumored to get last year is still ahead, with CIG aware of plans to roll modular sections to this ship quicker than we anticipate. Do you own an Expanse? The Galaxy is much bigger. There's certainly both efficiency and safety that come in not having all that extra bulk. That said, melting and taking a Galaxy is probably not a bad choice. Refineries are not yet in game, and you're trading one concept for another. We know they're working on the cargo system refactor, which involves the modularity tech to get the raft to work. We already have refinery stations, but no refinery gameplay. So which of these systems happens first is a toss-up, but the Galaxy, by my tally, is better worth your money. A CCU from Expanse to Galaxy is ideal. Keep it unapplied and wait to see what comes first. Do you own an Apollo? Similar to the Expanse, your much smaller physical size is a benefit, especially if you're fancying that combat medic role. However, the larger Galaxy is likely to have more armor, shields, weapons, and range. Like the Expanse, a CCU is a solid choice. What if you own none of these ships? Well, this becomes a little more gray, but there's something else to consider. You don't own any of those ships which share roles or modularity. If that's because ships are expensive and you're not afraid to show your account spend to your significant other, the Galaxy offers incredible value for your dollar. Feel free to board the hype train. Everything they are saying about this ship is good value to you. If, however, you need both hands to start counting your fleet, but you still don't have any of those ships, the Galaxy's the worst prospective offer of all, because you've never then invested in these game loops. Trust your instincts. You never purchased into these types of ship before. When the hype wears off, you'll melt or never fly this one. Save your money. Now what if the Galaxy looks awesome, you saved money this year for the big concept release, and you've watched this far but haven't cared yet? Great news. The Galaxy's a solid ship. Besides, at this point you weren't going to listen to me anyway. The Galaxy represents huge things in the verse though, even if you don't buy it. This IAE CIG delivered concepts that really matter and offer value. Don't get me wrong, I love and dream of my Perseus, but it really doesn't offer a whole lot when you break it down. While I still wanted to challenge CIG that I would spend this IAE if they didn't offer a new concept and just gave us stuff promised instead, the Cutter, Corsair, Medical Pisces, and now Galaxy all represent to me quality ship additions to the verse. None of these feel like shameless money grab, which is important. There are, however, two other huge parts of the announcement that matter. First is the admission that modularity is both being worked on actively, but that CIG wants to return to it with more ships. I don't think I really need to go deeper explaining that, but when talking about how to make the game in 2023 feel different than 2022 or 2018, that certainly goes a long way. Second, however, is the concepting process. Now this has been super subtle, but even showing us flying video of the gray box version of the ship is pretty big. Just like I said about the Spirits. If they blocked out the ship like they did the 400i to generate the concept, and then they take the block out and make the art, huge chunks of the implementation process are already done, improving the timeline to us boarding and flying our concept galaxies. The Galaxy work also suggests two other ships are near, which, unlike the Galaxy, don't need a game loop to become flyable. Those, of course, being the Perseus and Polaris. All three of these ships share assets, and the art team spending so much time working on those assets, not to mention the Polaris dotting on and off the roadmap all these years, means 2023 could be a huge year. In the end, I've not been this excited looking forward since 2018. We've seen indicators or actual work-in-progress images on a large number of ships, and 2023 could be another year like 2019 was. A lot of ships and loops becoming part of our daily verse experience. Maybe even Pyro 2. The Galaxy is worthy of strong consideration for addition to your fleet, but before you commit those dollars, ask yourself if it does anything new for what you already have. If it does, consider if this is a better purchase to make and look at melting and upgrading options in lieu of just buying it outright as well. If you need help with any of that, come over to my Discord and join the conversation. The link is in the description. I feel like this IAE, I've said CIG really delivered this year, but they really have as far as new ship concepts. The Galaxy certainly carries that ball towards the finish line, though I still suspect the Cutter wins the show. Thank you all for watching, and let me know in the comments what you're looking forward to in the Galaxy. Like and subscribe if you haven't, and I will catch you all next time.